This is Fred Beck from Fred Beck Fighting, proudly sponsored by Empire Fight Store. Today I'm very lucky, joined by once again Ryan Rhodes. So Ryan, I just said before I started recording, our last interview was in the 6th of December. It's now the 3rd of May, so it's quite a while back. How have you been in that time? What have you been up to?
I've been very, very busy. Time flies when you're having fun, Fred. It really does. Just been busy. Shows. So we did the Nigel Benn and Chris Eubank show together. After that, I did the Derek Chisora dinner event. I've had a few pro shows since that as well. And the next 4 weeks, I've just got the busiest 4 weeks ever. I think I'm going to need a holiday after the next 4 weeks, Fred. So if you've got a spare room where you live, I'll pop down just for a break.
I'm not sure London's a good place to have or the best place to have a holiday right now, but your dinner show,
Yeah.
who else you got coming up in the near future? What stars?
Well, I had an amazing telephone conversation a few days ago, and I can't announce it just yet. But Fred, if you give me a ring in the next couple of days, I'm hoping to announce probably one of the biggest ones I've done, or equivalent to one of the biggest ones I've done. So give me a ring in a couple of days, Fred, and hopefully I have some big news for you.
And some tickets for me as well, Ryan.
Yeah, I'll be able to look after you a couple of
Oh,
tickets as
really?
well.
Really?
Don't worry, we'll get you down.
Oh, hell yeah. Perfect. That's sick. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that sounds pretty good then. So I'll give you another. Since you didn't pick up my FaceTime call, because I started every time I call people now, I used to just DM everyone on Instagram and I wake up like 5 DMs, loads of interviews now. But now I've got a lot of people's numbers, so I just FaceTime them and normally they pick up. So if you see anyone FaceTiming anyone, it's probably
So yeah, I don't know why your details never stored in my phone for some reason, and I got a phone FaceTime off an unknown number, and I'm thinking, who's that? It must be a mistake. And then when I've text, obviously you message me straight back, Fred, but I don't know why your details didn't save in my phone from previous calls.
it was like, who's this? I was like, blimey, Ryan.
Yeah,
So Ryan, I want to get you on here, obviously Canelo Alvarez fights this weekend, Dimitri Bivol. Will you wake up for the fight at 4 o'clock in the
I
morning?
will do. I will do, definitely. I'm so looking forward to the fight. Moving up in weight again. Obviously, he's been at this weight before, but from his last fight, becoming undisputed super middleweight, he's moving up to light heavyweight again against Bivol. Great fight, quality fight, fighting an unbeaten fighter. It just doesn't surprise me anything that he attempts to do or tries. He just tries to beat records and set standards, and he's been doing that for many, many years.
Yeah, certainly. It's 2011 is when you fought Canelo. That's a long time ago. There's
It is. I'm just so glad I'm not fighting him now, to be honest.
no,
Really
you're
am.
another five now. It'll be a massive payday if you five now.
Oh, it will be. It will be. Wait till I fight him in ESBC. He's getting it. I'm getting my revenge. But yeah, I mean, 2011. So I boxed him when he was 22 years old. I was 30, 34 when I fought him. So coming to the latter stages of my career, but we had a great fight. You know, I went 12 rounds with him. I got stopped in the last round with a body shot. So I did. I was happy with my performance.
You know, as long as when you can say that you share the room with Canelo, that's a pretty cool thing to say, isn't it? Has he ever spoken to you since that fight?
Uh, Messages on Twitter and things like that, but never in person. I've never seen him in person really, from when we fought each other. But yeah, just like likes and a few comments on Twitter and things like that.
If he saw you in person, he'd obviously recognize you though, wouldn't he?
I'd like to think so. I'd like to think so. Be a shame if not. I mean, I have put a bit of size on since, but yeah, I mean, he's put a bit of size on since as well. But I'd like to think he does.
Yeah, hopefully. It'd be disappointing if you kind of walked past you and didn't realize.
I'd feel right ignorant. But no, I think he would remember.
Yeah, so a lot of people are saying I haven't seen too many of Bivol's fights. I watched the full fight of Craig Richards. Apart from that, I've only seen little clips of him. How good of an opponent is Bivol for Canelo?
Yeah, I think it's a great fight. I mean, yeah, I remember watching the Craig Richards fight. Did an absolute fantastic job, did Craig Richards. But I just feel Bivol's got too much. Um, or sorry, too much for riches in that fight. Whereas Canelo's a different animal, a totally different animal. I feel that I feel that I feel his speed. He won't be as heavy. He won't. I don't think he'll be carrying as much muscle in this fight as he did his previous fight. I think he'll be using his speed a lot more, and I think speed generates power. And we all know Canelo's got the power, but I just feel that Canelo will have far too much for him, and I feel we could get a stoppage, maybe middle rounds, 6, 7, 8 rounds. That's what I'm betting anyway.
Yeah, stoppage. Well, you actually betting on it?
Yeah, I'm gonna on this one. I favor Canelo could get the stoppage in this fight, maybe middle rounds. Yeah, so I'm going 6, 7, and 8.
There's been rumors. I just obviously mentioned your dinner shows earlier. There's rumors that Canelo, as long as he beats Misha Bivol, he can come and fight in the UK. Does that mean, say Canelo comes fights in the UK and you fought with him, do you think you can get him on for a dinner show if he comes to the UK?
I'd love to do a dinner event with Canelo, and even better now, he's speaking a lot more English, which is a massive bonus. I've been to events when the celebrity or whoever have not spoke English or very little English, and they've had a translator, and you lose translation with things like that. Whereas now Canelo does speak quite good English. I think it'd be a great dinner event. And if he came to the UK, I'd definitely put my hand up and try and get him into to one of our dinner events.
Yeah, I reckon you get him, Ryan. How many people do you think you get in there? Obviously, it's sell out. How many people do you think you get into what?
Yeah, I think you'd be looking at like a theatre style event with something like that, maybe 1,500, 2,000 people.
Oh.
But I think it'd be really good. See, a lot of people are such Canelo fans now because of him fighting the best and trying to create history and things like that. So I don't think it'd be hard to sell a Canelo dinner event.
No, I don't think it'd be hard to sell anything with Canelo's name on it. But what's the most people you had for a dinner event? What's been the most number?
The most I had, probably I did Tyson Fury 4 years ago, and we got 800 people in, and that was 4 years ago when he wasn't the fighter he is today. He's a household name now. I think the last 2 years, obviously the last 3 fights, the last 4 fights, obviously his trilogy with Deontay Wilder made him an absolute superstar. But coming to Wembley and selling 95,000 at Wembley, and there was something like 200,000 requests for tickets, what didn't get allocated, is an absolute terrestrial TV star now. Everybody knows Tyson Fury, so it'd be a much bigger draw now, I think. So we'd have to look at something like a bigger event if we were going to do a Tyson Fury event again.
Do you think you can get him back on?
I'd love to. Like I said, 4 years ago when I had Tyson, it'd be a lot bigger now, and I'd have to go something bigger. We went to the Magna Centre in Rotherham last time, and like I say, we did. I think we did about 800 people there. This time, you'd be looking at something 1,500, 2,000, without a doubt.
Yeah, well, I think you could probably get more than that. Obviously, he's now such a massive. The trilogy of Wilder made a massive star in the States and a bigger star.
Without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt.
Just one more thing. I know you just waved at someone, so you have to go soon. But these dinner events, I've never been to one. How does it work? You've got a bunch of people eating, and then you got some interviewer on stage talking to the famous person or celeb.
Yeah, so what I normally do is I normally try and get a bit of entertainment, a comedian, a singer, or something like that, just to give the crowd a little bit more. Then I'll get someone to interview the star. Like I normally use Brian from Newcastle. He's an absolute legend. I've used Brian on many shows. He gets the crowd going. You've got to get someone who knows how to interact with the crowd as well. What can get the crowd going? And Brian is a legend. So in doing events like that, then I get obviously the celebrity on stage to get interviewed. I get the crowd to ask some questions on unusual questions or something they want to know about the boxing or something they want to know about the person I'm what's getting interviewed. And then at the end, we'll all get everybody will get an individual picture with the celebrity at the end. So they're normally a great night. And I like I say, if you get a great one I did as well, which was about 4.5 years ago, was Joe Calzaghe. I sold that out. It was at a venue what held 500 people, the OEC, and I think we did close to 500 in there. So I oversold it quite a little bit, actually. But he was great, Joe. Interacted after, even when the event was over, he came and introduced himself and had a bit of a chat with the crowd. He was such a great celebrity to do a dinner with. And I definitely do one again with Joe again as well.
Certainly, yeah, Joe Kazaki. It's good, Joe. Those ones are quite good because Joe's quite a closed-off person. You don't really see him at the maybe occasionally ringside, or you might see him. Yeah, you might see him ringside, but you never really see him a pundit or doing many interviews. So yeah, those are quite good ones. It's a little exclusive.
I think it's asking questions what you'd love when you see him doing things on TV. Be one of them what comes into your mind is, oh, I'd love to ask him about this, or love to ask him about that, or about this fight, about that fight, something about something what might have been in the papers or something like that. It's an opportunity to get to ask something that you've never asked before.
Certainly, yeah, it'll be quite good. But I'm looking forward to it. I'll give you a FaceTime in a couple of days to find out who it is. But Ryan, I'll put all your socials links in the description. We'll catch up soon then, mate. Thanks for your time.
You're a star, Fred, and I see you doing more and more. You're getting up there. You're going to be another Cougar Cassius, mate. I can see it.